Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Are we in the screen together?
I think we are. Well,
Okay.
you have to come closer to me.
Okay. But are we looking at the computer or are we looking at each other? So that's the question for today for anybody who watches this. I guess we'll go back and forth.
I think so.
Okay. So welcome to Miracle Mondays, our second recording. And we are together today in person. So we get to actually look at each other. And I have to say, so our first one was last week. And I learned after recording that it recorded in a weird view, so we don't get to see my amazing, beautiful mama. So I'll figure that out for next time when we're not together. But today we're together, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Okay. So Miracle Mondays. Our intention with Miracle Mondays is to inspire, right?
Yes. I'm just listening. Yes.
Okay. And this is going to be an evolution. We're going to figure this out. Are you doing this?
No, I'm not. I'm warming my hands.
Okay. This is going to grow with us as we progress because we don't really know exactly what we're doing. We're just wanted to come together, and I wanted to talk about you and share your incredible way of living life,
Carry on.
which you will see in a theme. Anybody who might watch this, the three people who might watch this, or maybe there'll be hundreds or thousands, but probably three. That the way mom lives her life is very unique, and I wanted to share that with other people because life isn't always easy, but we know this, but the way that you live your life, the way that you approach it has a huge impact. So anyways, that will evolve. Do you have anything to say about that before we?
No, I'm just here because
Because I made her.
so I just decided I'd go along with whatever
Okay, good.
Melanie wants.
Okay. So Melanie wants to talk to you each week and talk and just, I think what we're going to do, at least this is how we're going to start it off, is I'm going to ask you a question. We have no idea where the conversation is going to go. Mom doesn't know the question that I'm going to ask. And it's really for me to share with everybody how lucky I am to witness somebody who lives life with such grace, who walks her talk. I mean, mom coaches, trains, consults, helps people. And it's really nice to know that she actually lives her life in an aligned way. Anyhow, I could go on and on. Here's my question for today. Dun, dun, dun. Are you ready?
Maybe.
You don't have to have an answer either, by the way, like,
Okay.
because each week I'll just ask you something and then we'll just chat.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is that we have amazing conversations together. And so it's capturing these for other people to be as lucky as I am, right? Okay. So the question is, I was reading your birthday cards from your granddaughters.
Okay.
And I noticed a theme in both of them because they were both homemade cards with their own written note, which they wouldn't have known what the other person wrote. And both of them talked about your strength and how they admire you specifically over this last year. Like maybe they didn't know or they didn't have an opportunity to know how strong you are. And they both, yeah, that was the theme in their card. So why do you like, is there anything that comes to mind when I ask you that? Why do you think they're saying you're strong? Do you feel like you're strong? Like, how does that land for you? I thought it was interesting they both said it.
I know, I saw, and they've said it to me.
Mhm.
I have no idea.
And that is your episode of Miracle Mondays.
Bye now.
Bye. Okay, so
No, I have
that's
no
okay.
idea.
Okay, so they've really noticed it in this last year. We shared in our chat last week, which was our first one, that what you've been going through over this last year. Do you want to just say what you've been going through over this last year in case somebody didn't watch the first one? No, I know this part's uncomfortable for you.
Very
I know.
uncomfortable. Well, just that.
For the purposes of inspiring others.
Yes. So yeah, so a year ago I was told that I had cancer, and have gone through like quite a few things in terms of my lungs, and yeah, it's been a journey for a whole year, and I just do what I do. So I don't know, in terms of being strong or whatever. I just do what I need to do so that I can be well and healthy. And, again, I mean, where I was a year ago to where I am now is just like night and day.
Yeah, like health wise.
Yes,
Yes.
completely.
Yeah.
Just
Now, do you think that your strength at all is correlated to the fact that you don't like to talk about the problem? Like, do you think there's a connection there? I don't know. I'm just asking. Just popped into my mind.
yeah. I mean, I suspect that has something. I suspect it's related due to the fact that if you just think about when we talk about things, and that's where our focused attention goes. And so, as I mentioned in the last episode, which we decided that this wasn't all going to be about me and my cancer.
No, it's going to be about how you live your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, I didn't tell hardly anybody. I mean, now, of course, obviously, we're doing this, so a lot more people will know.
You're welcome.
But I didn't share it with other people because from an energetic perspective, I just don't want people feeling bad for me. And inadvertently, one person found out, and right away they told other people that I had a few months maybe, or I don't even know what they said, but no time left. It's, she doesn't have much. And it's just like, oh my God, that is so not true. So I don't tell people.
Okay, so can we dig into that?
Yes, fine.
Oh my God. So that is so not true. You had a belief, a knowing inside of you that you, tell me about that.
Well, I just focused on healing my body.
Yeah.
And again, if anything I teach, if I believe anything I teach, then what I say to myself really matters.
Yeah.
And if I talk about, being afraid that I'm going to die, or that I have, an illness or something, well, then that sends a message that isn't really a very positive message to my body.
That's right.
And so, and I do take that really super seriously. And yeah, and the things that I do believe, I mean, they have been proven scientifically, they've been proven on many different levels, that our body takes instruction from us. And so, yeah, I'm just really careful. I have no intention of not being well. And yeah, has a year been easy? No, it hasn't, but it's getting easier and easier. And yeah, it's not aligned with me to talk about problems. It's not that I ignore them. It's that I focus on what I want, not on the problem.
Right. And so is that easy for you to do, or do you have to work at it? Like, so I'm thinking from number one, thinking through the lens of like your strength. Is it like this strength inside of you that only allows you to go to, what you want? And again, this is like beyond this year. I'm talking because this is you and it's how you do everything.
Yeah.
And so is it work for you?
No.
Okay. So that's incredible.
Well, I mean, again, I think, as I've said to you a number of times, I don't really know what I do. I just am who I am, and I do it my way. And having said that, I do believe that the things that I've been teaching for 30 years kind of validates who I've been anyways.
Okay.
Right?
Like who you've been your whole entire life.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And so then bumping into NLP and a vehicle for me to learned, really what it's taught me is how I do what I do from a technical perspective of in terms of the brain. But for me on my own, it's natural.
Right. And so that's what's so fascinating is that the way you approach life is so different than the way many people approach their life. And therefore you are not exempt of challenges, but somehow they don't impact you in the same way. Do you think that's fair to say?
I think I'm not sure about that statement because again, I don't know about impacting because really it's been a really tough year, like physically but I somehow just focus on healing. So even though I'm experiencing it, so I think it impacts me in the same physical way that it impacts others.
Mhm.
But I don't dwell on that. I move to what I can do to feel better.
Right.
Even if it means I just lay on the couch and I do nothing because I know my body needs to just be still.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm really doing anything, but my consciousness is, I want to be well.
Mhm.
I enjoy life. I've had an amazing life. And as you said, I could tell lots of sad stories. I mean, but I don't think of them.
I know I mean, this is a funny thing because whenever we talk about it, mom goes, I've just had such a beautiful life. And it's like, she literally does not record the challenges. So like when dad left,
Mhm.
um, I think I know what you focused your attention on, but like,
Mhm.
what was your thought process then? So dad left, obviously you were devastated. You were very in love with him. And
And people, I don't know if people know that you were 6 months old and
yeah,
Brad
probably
was
not.
3.
Yeah.
So babies.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what's your
So how did, like, at the time,
Mhm.
what were you, I mean, I know that's a long time ago because I'm 50 now. So
Yeah.
you'd like to pretend it was, 20 years ago or whatever, but you do have a 50-year-old daughter and a 53-year-old son. Um, do you remember how you navigated that at all? Like from a thinking perspective? Because I think I do know, but I would like to ask you.
Well, the only thing that comes to mind is I mean, I'm sure there were a bunch of practical things, I guess,
Yeah.
but the one time, and this is kind of weird. Do you want me to talk about something weird?
Yeah, we're here to learn about Miracle Mom.
Okay.
Miracle Mondays we should Miracle Mom on Mondays or something. Anyways, carry on.
Anyways, so the thing that comes up that really impacted me, I'm sure, was I do remember like a night when I talked to your dad on the phone. I just thought, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's
I need to sit
impossible.
back because
Oh.
I'm like a giant with my mom. Okay.
Oh, anyways, and all of a sudden I got this, I don't know, like a voice in my head or something that said, well, you can either focus on what you lost that you love, or you can focus on what you have that you love. And the loss was, of course, my husband, but what I have is my children. And for some reason, that just stuck with me. It's like, oh, okay, then, that's what I'll focus on.
Mhm.
And, and I think our relationship and everything, like that night was weird. So that happened. And then I got this image of these old people that were sitting around complaining because their kids weren't anywhere around.
Mhm.
And now they're old and they've got lots of time. But they've got time for their kids, but their kids aren't there. And so the message for me was that if I don't spend time with my kids when they need me, then they will learn to not need me. And then when I need them, they won't be there. I mean,
Well, lucky you, we need you all the time. Good job, Mom.
But those are the little things that kind of just, I don't know why they impacted me, and
Yeah.
and I don't know why it came to me, but and that totally influenced me. It you know, it really, really did.
Mhm.
And it seems, kind of sounds like a simple thing, and how could that impact me so much? But it totally did.
Well, it's like it's like a choice. I feel like it's like everything that I'm going to say but I say to clients all the time. Well, we say all the time, which is you have both going on at the same time, good and bad. That doesn't matter. Like everybody has good and bad happening in their life at the same time. And we have a choice on which direction we focus our attention. And we would be right either way. Like you would be right to be in a puddle about dad. You would be right to, to focus on illness versus health. Like you'd be right. But in focusing in that way, you're going to destroy your life and not enjoy the journey, or you focus in the other direction, which is also right. And then you feel a different way. Right. And that I think is a big part of how you do life.
Well, I think too, I have a belief that life is meant to be fun. It's, like I really do.
Yeah.
And so if it isn't, then I better do something to change it. But, like very simplistic. And when this all happened, I wasn't on like a spiritual path or a personal development path. I was on no path. I was like,
just a person doing life.
That's right.
I mean, your spiritual path came when, and that's what I think we might have touched on this in the first conversation, but it came when I was a teenager or like late teens, right? So you raised me being, in case anybody's listening to this and thinking, oh, like whatever, they've missed the boat or whatever it might be in your personal growth journey, like you were a regular person doing regular life, not exposed to any of these amazing tools that we now have and share with other people. You were, I'm going to say, just a person doing life.
And I really, honestly I loved being a mother. And even though I was single and my friends.
Well, you did a lot of dating, I've learned.
Well, that was later. But really, that was my focus. It's like, but from a really positive place, and, my friends used to say, I would be sorry that I wouldn't have a life and I should go out and go to the bars and do whatever. But I had more fun with you guys. You were way more fun. I mean, think about it. We used to do housework, dancing around to music and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, I don't know how all those things happened. It wasn't that I saw somebody doing them and decided I would be like them.
Yeah.
I just somehow thought, we're meant to be happy.
I do think, and we'll probably won't stay on too much longer today, but I do think part of it is you are just that way. But I also think part of it is you do make a choice.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
You do make a choice. As your daughter who's witnessed you go through multiple different, big and small, different little challenges or big challenges or whatever, over at least my adult life. When I was a teenager, I was probably too self-absorbed to notice. But, you're human and you have a human response in the beginning, in the moment, but you switch it really quickly.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you don't like to feel that way.
No, I don't like to feel bad. I like to feel good. And again, even all the things that I said about fun and everything with you guys, I was totally responsible. I mean, I worked and,
You know the example I'm thinking of.
What do you
$700 jeans.
Oh, no, I don't recall that. But
those green jeans.
Yes, I recall the jeans.
Because every single mom is buying $700 jeans.
But I was responsible, totally.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
Yes. But, so it doesn't mean that that I didn't take responsibility and had to look after serious things. But at the same time, just overall, I think we're meant to have a good time.
Yeah.
And if I'm not having a good time, well, then what do I need to do to be able to have a good time? And yeah, this last year has probably been, I don't know, it might be the biggest challenge I've had in terms of getting through something seriously, because it was long. And still, I'm not through it yet.
That's right. That's right. And so like acceptance is a word you've used a lot, like as this sort of journey's growth or whatever is, you know, you're used to things happening really quickly and you just kind of making a decision and focusing your energy and boom, the thing is done.
Yeah.
Whatever the thing is. And this experience, you haven't had that control over it. The journey seems to be accepting, not accepting that as in accepting, like you are still holding on to, you know, that you are going to be healthy and traveling and doing all the things that you love to do, but accepting that the journey is going to be the journey.
Right. And so along with that, I would have to say that, you know, even just recently, I have focused more on, yeah, not expecting tomorrow to be different. On one hand, I mean, of course, I see myself as healthy and so on, but tomorrow not being different, but really enjoying today. So, you know, whatever I'm doing today, then I'm really grateful for and enjoying that. And, you know, not thinking that tomorrow it's going to be gone or something. I don't know how to describe it or really what to say, but it's just, it's acceptance, but it's not acquiescing to something.
And acceptance is not giving up.
No.
It's allowing.
Yes. And the slowness, because I'm not good at slow.
Yeah.
So I make snap decisions and
hop on planes.
Exactly. Spontaneous and whatever. And there's not a lot of spontaneity to me at the moment.
No. But there will be.
Yeah.
There will be. Okay. Well, I think that, you know, I think this has been great every week if we can just have these conversations and kind of discover different aspects of how you do life. And I mean, I'm sure over time, you know, there'll be conversations about all sorts of different things. Yeah, but I think that you're pretty amazing.
Well, I'm grateful that you think I'm amazing. Very grateful.
Okay.
Because I think you're amazing too.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I love you.
Okay. I love you too.
Okay. Not bye to you, but bye to you.
Yeah.
Okay. See you next time.
Bye.